Hi, today I would like to talk to you about a spiritual family with divine bonds. So, what do I mean by a spiritual family? A spiritual family is that family which is eternally united. In this आज के युग में जो एक दैविक परिवार होता है उसको दुनिया की कोई भी शक्ति तोड़ नहीं सकती. नो पावर ऑन अर्थ कैन ब्रेक दिस spiritual bond which this spiritual family has, the divine bond which this spiritual family has, because there are so many games played, so many wicked, I should say, manipulative games played behind your back. From what I have noticed is whenever two people love each other, whether they are boyfriend, girlfriend, or they are husband, wife, and they have children, and the children love their parents, and the parents love the children, and it's a very warm and strong and united family. And the love is the basis of success. They are succeeding because they have the strong bond of love. Even if the father has to go away, or the father is staying away from them, but the love for this father and the love which the father has for the family, even though he is in another place, is what is the basis. It is the rock of their success in life. And when such a beautiful foundation is there, and when success is created out of this beautiful love, then it is truly a spiritual family. And I don't know why, but this world, the 3D world, is very jealous, and there are people all around you who are indulging in nefarious activities, negative activities, and then they are possessive and they want to break this family because two of the immediate families who want to break this family is unfortunately, the girl's parents and the boy's parents, because they are used to having the girl since childhood. She's been in their power, and they cannot tolerate the fact that now she is totally devoted to her husband and her children. In fact, that is what it should be, and that is what it is said socially, that that we have given the daughter in marriage. So in Hindus, they believe that कन्या का दान कर दिया तो कन्या अब पूरी तरह अपने नए परिवार से अब वो उनकी हो गई है. बट ये सिर्फ बोलने और दिखाने की बातें हैं. जो असल में जो माँ बाप भाई बहन जो होते हैं वो पूरी तरह पोजेसिव होते हैं, खासकर अगर वो एक अच्छा इंसान या अच्छी इंसान हो, क्योंकि एक अच्छे इंसान को अपने पावर में सब चाहते हैं कि वो उनसे एनर्जी ले. एनर्जी वैम्पायर्स बोलते हैं कि उनसे वो शक्ति ले. पहले तो वो हम सब के लिए काम करती थी, अब शादी के बाद क्या हो गया, हमारे लिए अब फुर्सत ही नहीं है. And they'll say all embarrassing things so that the girl, she feels very guilty, and they'll keep saying that you have forgotten us after marriage, you don't care about us, the siblings and the parents, and you don't love us. And I don't know why they say such things. Anyway, they want her back in their power, and any honest, sincere, good person, people always want to possess them and control them, whether it is the in-laws or the parents. And so there is this battle going on behind the curtains, that who is going to have this manipulative, it's a tug of war, I should say, on both the husband and the wife, or the girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. And if it's a relationship, then the partners. So the boy's family, they feel that the girl is ours, so now the girl's family should not have any say on her, and she's totally ours, and we should be able to do whatever we like with her, whether we treat her properly or we abuse her or we torture her or whatever we do, the parents should not say anything, the siblings should not say anything, the girl side should not say anything. And the irony of it is that if you torture the girl or the daughter-in-law, then obviously, if your son loves her, then he will obviously stand up for her and he's going to say something because he can't tolerate his wife being tortured. And if he says something, then the parents will say that they have done, she has done magic on him. She has totally got him in her grasp. Her beauty and youth has enchanted him, and she has totally possessed him. And the same thing, like here in Indian families, they believe कि जादू कर दिया उसकी सुंदरता ने मेरे बेटे पे जादू कर दिया, and my son is no longer mine. He won't listen to me. But they don't understand the basic thing that if you treat your daughter-in-law with respect, and if you value her and if you love her, then your son will respect you and love you. I'm not talking about the exceptions. I'm not talking about the sons which are not like that. I'm talking about normal sons. I mean, the good ones. So, anyway, so then there is this, this पूरा जाल बिछाया जाता है. This whole trap which is built, like either in the computer they'll put in some shit like I'm sorry, but they'll put in some sexual some pictures or something, and then they'll say that this guy is into all these things, and they'll try to feed these poisonous toxic thoughts in the in the wife's mind. And if she's wise and she really loves her husband, she's not going to go for it. And she'll know, though it needs a lot of strength, because nowadays, they copy paste anything, they just superimpose, and they do things. Well, I have faced it in my own life, and unfortunately, my second husband, who was a very nice person, but just because he was friendly, so he was friendly with everyone, women and men, and it was in his nature, Aquarian, Gemini, whatever. And I was also like that. Like, if I talk to a man, doesn't mean that I'm having sex with him. And if my husband is talking to a woman, doesn't mean that he's having sex with her. So I knew that and I respected it. But, there are these toxic people who just, they'll, of course, I was a Puritan and I was very conservative, and I was very, as I have told in my other videos. So this once somebody gave him a blue film and he just showed it to me, and the response was quite the reverse of what it should have been. Like, I started crying and I said, please don't show me these films because I don't like them, and I would willingly have sex with you, but please don't show me these. I don't like them. They are dirty and I don't like them. So he said, he was so sweet. He said sorry and I'll never do it again. And it was just he went to get some movies, and that guy, he put it in the computer. And then later I started noticing that like later my daughter said that these just come in, like if you go to certain sites, then all these porn photographs, they just keep popping up and you have to keep cancelling it. And if somebody is very busy, then they'll forget to cancel it, so it'll keep coming into the computer. And maybe the wife, if she has this suspicion, or somebody puts it into her mind that your husband is into it and he's going for other women and all that, then it's a very wicked way in which they break families. And I know somebody who's been breaking families like this. And especially if your husband is abroad, then they'll say, oh, your husband has he's got something going on with his secretary or somebody. And there was somebody I knew, she was a very beautiful lady, and her husband was such a sweet soul. He was such a nice person, and I can't believe it that he would have some sexual something going on with his secretary, and this is after 25 years of their marriage, and they had a son who was an IS officer, and that lady, I mean, how stupid could she be? Anyway, she cut her own, I mean, she would branch on which she was sitting. That's what I can say. And there have been many. I have been observing this, and that is why I want to tell you that please don't do this. Mm, because people all around, whenever they see a nice family, they want to break it, and you have to be wise enough to abstain from it. Well, my second marriage, I was always very cautious that whether my husband, how he was treating my children, and I did the right thing, and ironically, I got punished by my daughter for doing the right thing, and the right thing was that I don't know whether it was the right thing or wrong thing, but for me it was the right thing. Like I had these little babies, two of them were very small, and one was 5 years old, one was 3 years old, and the other one was a little more elder to them. So she knew everything, they knew everything, and the best part was when I got married to my husband, then the children used to say, I mean, we were so beautifully, the bond that was there in our family was so beautiful. It is so beautiful because we are a spiritual family, and nothing on earth and nobody can break us. So these my children, they had this innocent way of saying, they said, when we got married to Papa, it was the most beautiful thing I ever heard. They knew everything that was going on, and like whenever I met him, and so then of course, whenever he used to be a little strict, then I used to get a little shaky, because I used to try to explain to him, don't be strict with them, because my parents have totally spoiled them, and they're not used to the strict behavior, and they're not going to take it. They're not going to take it positively. So first, let us build a. I mean, of course, the fathers always try to be strict, and the mothers always have to be, soft and malleable and ductile, and they have to keep the family together. So it was like that. But one day when I saw these pictures in the computer, and then there were other things. There were like he was not getting a job, I was not getting a job, and he was getting frustrated. I was getting frustrated, and anyway, so when I requested my brother, who was a IPS officer, as I have mentioned, to that we should have a divorce. He literally left to it, and within seconds, my divorce was done. He never told me anything about the rules, the laws, or anything. That 1 year separation, and you should try to. All that my husband said, and I was I was so upset. I didn't know what to do, and I was so scared, and like I used to sleep with my babies and my husband in the same room. Like I never used to sleep in another room with my husband. So, and later on when we grew up, then my youngest daughter said that, Mama, one day I thought that Papa was trying to squish you. That was so cute. So that was the wrong thing which I did. I should have slept in another room with him, but I was always so worried about my little daughters that I didn't do it. And look, I got punished by my little daughter for doing the right thing. And she's left me, and she thinks that her mother was wrong. Her mother is wrong. Anyway, so two of my children have gone. They are separated from me. My husband is separated from me because, as I said, my husband told me that, see, don't do this, don't go in for this divorce. But I was so everything was going wrong, and there was so much of confusion, and I was so upset that I thought that just going in for a divorce, and then I had this feeling that whenever I want to, we can get back together, we can get united. But the universe had to show me the game which was being played, and my husband warned me again and again that don't do this. because once I get separated from you, we will not be allowed to come together again, and that is what I discovered later on, unfortunately. So that is what I'm trying to tell you, that the games people play, they just, I mean, there is so much going beyond the curtain, beyond the veil, I mean, that you don't see. So don't allow anybody to, separate your family. But even after being divorced, no court on earth can separate the love which I have for my husband and the love he has for me. My husband did not want to give this divorce, but since my brother had a lot of power, and my brother told me, which was wrong, my brother told me that just write that when your husband is around, you don't feel that your children, your three daughters, are safe. And it struck a bell because I thought this is not right, but then I just did it because I thought that, anything to get the divorce done, and I just wanted peace, and I was in hell, and it was a terrible mess, so I just wanted to clear the mess, and that I think my brother twisted into a very ugly and very terrible thing. Anyway, I should not have done that, and he told it to me in a very calm way, and then later on, my husband told me that he had been handcuffed and in an open jeep, and he had been taken all around the city, which was very, very, very wrong. And of course, after the divorce, when I came to know the actual facts of what was going on, I tried. I did everything. I took my little children with my babies with me. I separated from my brother and my parents, and then I started living in another rented accommodation in the same city. And later, of course, left the city also. But anyway, this was when I was in the city. I went to the family cell and I wrote a complaint. Then one day, after a lot of difficulty, they called my husband, and the lady over there, she said, "This is the last meeting," and I had to catch him. He did not want to meet, and I was thinking, how can this be right? Because he never wanted to give me that I was in the first place, and how can they say this? And there was this written letter from my husband's side, apparently, saying that we don't want to meet her, and please keep her away from us. And I said, "What is this? How can this be possible? My husband didn't want to leave me, and how can he say this?" So obviously, somebody was using their power and misusing their power. And I wrote that, of course, but all that was hushed up, it was suppressed. And then I wanted to go and meet the senior officer of the um, family cell. And you can't believe it, but there was this man who physically, bodily stood between he stood at the door from which I had to enter the room of the senior officer, and they just blocked me. So, and then I tried to meet the governor, and I was made to sit for a very long time, and then God made the governor and his wife come outside, right outside. I could see them, and the moment I tried to go out and call them, then again this one man, he came and stood there physically, and like I would have had to push him, or I would have had to scream, shout, and call their attention. And at that point of time, I was so confused. Of course, I knew who was doing all this. The only person who could do this in my life who knew it. Why would strangers want to do it? Only my brother would want to do it, right? So, so I realized what my husband said, and I went to two different places, family cell, and I tried to get our get our divorce nullified, and I could not. And later on, God has His ways of giving the message and showing us. So through a gentleman, just a neighbor, friendly neighborhood neighbor, uh, an elderly gentleman, he said, "Beta," he said, "my dear child, the court never wants people to get separated because it's so traumatic for the children, it's so bad, and they always want families to stay together. So if you go in if you want to get united, the court is the first I mean, it supports all families who want to come together. So you can see that the court wanted us to get together, but um, my own people, my own sibling did not want, because he wanted power over me and my children. And unfortunately, he had the power to do that. And whenever I went to, then I tried going to, you know, individual advocates to help me out, and I met such beautiful gentlemen. There was this gentleman who said, "Don't worry, I know people at the Supreme Court and I will help you." And next time I went there, that gentleman was not there, and I tried to call him. He had given me his phone number. I could not get through. And I came to another city in a lot of difficulties. I mean, this became my mainstay. Like, even till today, I cannot call a person twice, uh, whether it's a plumber or an electrician or anyone. Advocates is beyond, I mean, doubt. But I'm still surviving. And why am I surviving? There were so many times I told God, God, there's no point living this way. I mean, if I don't get united with my husband, and then my children were also told that your mother is mad, and she had these stupid ideas in her head. So my children were also separated from me. Uh, at present, I have two children staying with me, and two children are away. But uh, a few days ago, there were three children who were staying separate from me, and just one daughter staying with me. So, like our um, beautiful family was torn apart. But in spite of all this, even though I am not on speaking terms with two of my daughters, I have three daughters and one son. So even though I am not on speaking terms with them, and there's no point speaking to them because their mind has been totally poisoned, and they have been taken away from me. So, but in 5D, I love my husband and I love my daughters and I remember them every day. And the universe has told me, my divine mother has told me that I know that they remember me, I know that they remember us, and I'm sure that one day we'll get together and we'll be stronger. And it is this that I want you to always remember and keep in your heart, that there is no power on earth which can separate a divine spiritual family. No matter where our bodies are, when they are upset, I know it. When my husband is upset, I know it. When he's with me, I know it. I'm always with him and he's always with me, even though he is miles away from me. And even food tastes bad, if I don't remember him. And one day I don't remember him and I feel that he's so upset and he feels so weak. And I am his strength and I healed him and he is my strength and he heals me. So that is a spiritual family. So even if you're divorced, if some um, horrible games have been played on you and you have been separated and you cannot meet each other and you cannot come together, I am telling you, God has given the solution. Please work on the 5D. Always feel that you are together and just live life as if you are together, and you will feel, you will not. I have wept, I have cried for so many years, and I have been on the bed, I have had so many breakdowns, but then nobody cares for you. That's what they want. That is what my brother is waiting. That I'll have this breakdown and I'll come and I'll fall at his feet and I'll live in his house and he will take care of me and all my energy and all my anyway. I don't want to go there. So and take all my freedom in this house. It is my house. I'm happy because I can do whatever I want to. In his house, I cannot do whatever I want to. Far from it. And they'll say such things that I'll not be in the frame of mind to do anything. I'll be in depression. I will not feel like doing anything. So please create this world of your own, separate, cut off from negative forces, and stay in a place where you can stay with your family, even though they are physically apart from you, but they will always be in your heart. And Just keep them in your heart, and you will be giving them strength and vitality, and you will be healing them emotionally every second. I know it, I believe it, and I mean, I can't tell you how he heals me and how I heal him. It's mutual. And we are in each other's arms, and we heal each other. And it is so, so divine. It is such a divine feeling that I can't tell you. It's even more beautiful than living together physically, because when you live together physically, then you have difference of opinions, and you have these ego problems, and then you have fights, and then there are always these people who are trying to influence your mind or your husband's mind or your children's mind, and it's a continuous kind of tug of war, as I said. So, but when they are in your heart, then nobody can separate you. So that is the spiritual family, the strong spiritual bond in your heart. जब आपके दिल में आपके पति और बच्चे रहेंगे, और आपके बच्चे कहीं भी हो संसार में, वो बाहर चले गए हों, या उनकी पत्नी उनको आपसे ना मिलने दे, आपके बेटों को या आपकी बेटी को उनके ससुराल वाले आपसे ना मिलने दे, या आपके पति आपसे अलग हो गए हैं, डाइवोर्स हो या कुछ और बात हो, आपको अलग कर दिया गया, या नौकरी की वजह से अलग है, कुछ भी हो, आपके दिल में अगर आप उनको पकड़ के रखेंगे, उनके प्यार को, तो आपका जो प्यार है, आप जब भी उनको याद करोगे तो उनको शक्ति मिलेगी, उनको उनके भावनाओं को शक्ति मिलेगी, और ये प्यार उनको शक्ति देगा ज़िंदा रहने का, मुस्कुराने के लिए, और जो भी वो काम कर रहे हैं अच्छा करने के लिए। और वो उनको कोई भी, जब लोग उनको कष्ट देंगे या कोई भी कष्ट होगा, तो आप जब उनके लिए प्रार्थना करोगे, और आप जब उनको याद करोगे, और आप मन ही मन में जब उनको उनको स्नेह से गले लगाओगे, आपके बच्चों को, आपके बेटे को, बेटी को, या आपके पति को, तो वो प्यार उन तक पहुँच जाएगा। ये मेरा विश्वास है, अटूट विश्वास है। मैंने देखा है, मैंने न याद करके भी देखा है, और मैंने याद करके भी देखा है, अब दोनों में क्या फ़र्क है, ये मैंने देखा है। और मुझे पता है, मैं बहुत दुर्बल हो जाती हूँ, कमज़ोर हो जाती हूँ जब मैं अपने पति को याद नहीं करती हूँ। मेरे पति मेरे से बहुत दूर है, 17 साल हो गया, उनमें कोई कांटेक्ट नहीं है। बीच बीच में कभी कभी होती है, बट बहुत ही कम। यही कहते हैं कि मैं तुमसे नहीं मिलना चाहता या नहीं मिल सकता, जो मुझे लगता है कि पीछे से उनको बोलना पड़ता है, क्योंकि कुछ कारण है। तो मुझे तो ये लगता है कि मेरे भाई ने बंदूक वाला बिठा रखा है उनके माँ बाप के घर में, और अगर वो मेरे से बात करेंगे या मेरे पास आएंगे या मेरे से कोई भी कांटेक्ट करने की कोशिश करेंगे, तो उनके माँ बाप को वो चेतावनी दी जाएगी, डराया जाएगा, धमकाया जाएगा, क्योंकि मेरे भाई पुलिस में बहुत बड़े अफसर हैं और वो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। तो मतलब ऐसा, ये बहुत साधारण सी चीज़ है, ये तो मैं बोल रही हूँ, ये बहुत सारे परिवारों में होता है। जिसके पास भी पावर होता है, जिसके पास भी शक्ति होती है, चाहे पैसों का हो, चाहे या नौकरी का हो, तो वो जो उनके आसपास जो जिनके पास इतनी शक्ति नहीं होती है, गवर्नमेंट का हो या पैसों का हो, तो उनके ऊपर वो हावी हो जाते हैं, और उनकी ज़िंदगी को वो बिल्कुल ऐसे कंट्रोल करते हैं और उनको तबाह कर देते हैं, उनको मतलब एक खुशहाल ज़िंदगी नहीं जीने देते हैं। तो मैं यही कहूँगी कि जो दैविक परिवार है, उनको कोई शक्ति अलग नहीं कर सकता। वो हमेशा एक साथ रहेंगे, उनका शरीर कहीं भी हो, कैसी भी मुश्किलों से गुजर रहा हो, पर दिल में वो एक है, और वो हमेशा उनका प्यार उनको जोड़े रखेगा, और कोई ताकत उनको तोड़ नहीं सकती। ये चीज़ आप याद रखना। So enjoy your spiritual family, and don't break down, and don't be depressed, because the love of your entire family is with you in 5D, which will very soon become 3D. विश्वास रखिए, have faith, have trust. The universe has mysterious ways, beautiful ways of bringing you together. Just don't give up. आप विश्वास रखिए तो प्रकृति या ये दुनिया या भगवान आप लोगों को एक साथ ज़रूर करेगा। उनके तरीके बहुत नवीन, बहुत अजीबोगरीब होते हैं, और भगवान किस तरह क्या करता है, पर भगवान ज़रूर आपको न्याय देगा, मुझे भी, हम सब। इसलिए विश्वास टूट गया तो सब कुछ टूट गया। प्यार हार गए, तो अगर हमने अपना प्यार छोड़ दिया परिवार का, to give up on the love we have, the divine bond, then we lose everything. Okay, love you, see you, and don't give up. Fight this battle with me. We will definitely be successful. Amen.